PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is something of a phenomenon on the PC. It's broken clear of all the other Battle Royale and survival games, flooding Steam to sell over 4 million copies before ever leaving early access. So it only makes sense to put a game that popular on consoles, right? And maybe even let those console players play with PC players. Right?
Crossplay is the concept of letting gamers play the same game together on different platforms. PlayStation gamers playing games alongside Xbox gamers. Xbox gamers playing with PC. Everyone enjoying the same game regardless of platform. Everyone having a good time. At least that's the idea. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has been the game on everyone's lips as far as PC gaming goes for the past few months. It's a very popular game. If you don't know what it is, it's a DayZ looking Battle Royale game where 100 players are parachuted onto a huge Eastern European island. You can play alone, with a partner, or in teams of 4 as you try to survive to the end using any weapons and items you scavenge along the way. It's all about sneaking around, finding good positions, and taking part in genuinely tense and thrilling gunfights, because if you die, that's it, you're out. It's a bit rough around the edges because it's in early access, but Christ almighty is this game fun.
So that's Battlegrounds. It's got a certain formula, but the game's executive producer Chang Han Kim says the team at Bluehole Studio are currently working on one particularly big change to that formula. Battlegrounds is set to release in full on PC by the end of this year, and it's set to release on Xbox One as well. So console gamers will finally get a taste of this game for themselves. Great, but there's more. We'll let Kim explain it to you himself. Have we actually got him, or am I going to have to read this out?
In a Kim impression.
I can't do impressions. No impressions.
Cross-network prey between a PC.
Right!
You went there.
That's on camera.
Let's pretend his name is Jim.
Jim Sutherland. I don't know why.
What the fuck? Yes.
Sutherland.
I don't know why. He said, cross-network play between the PC and the console is definitely something we want to do down the road, and we don't anticipate we'll have any technical issues with that. But when you consider the competitive side of the game, I do feel that there's a balance issue between controllers and keyboard and mouse. That's what's making it difficult for us to do right away.
So there's a balance issue, obviously. Mouse and keyboard will have a distinct advantage. But how do Bluehole propose to balance that so that it's fair to players? If we're going to allow players to use controllers, we need to have the aim assist added and things like that, Kim said. We're not going to be supporting it right away, but it's something we'd like to look into later. My first thought is great, and the more the merrier. I'm very glad that Xbox gamers will get to play PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I am glad that more people get to experience it, because I really enjoy it. We all really like it. We all play it here in the office. However, what's the point? Like, why do the crossplay thing? Who's that benefiting? Who wants this?
Groups of players, your friends who have different platforms.
I guess, yeah. I guess
so. People who can't afford a PC, who've got friends who play PC,
yeah.
They've got an Xbox.
It's just kind of a sentiment that I never read anywhere. I never ever hear anyone going, man, I wish I could play this with PC players, and vice versa. I'm assuming it's going to take effort. They're going to have to pour resources into this. It's in early access, and you'd think that they've got a lot of things they want to prioritise. So why this?
That was an interesting first thought there, Mike. And my first thought...
Let me go one better, though.
my first thought would be, awesome, I get to own some console scrubs on this game now. That would be
Gareth.
That would be my first thought. Like, I mean, how could they even pretend they could be competitive? I've seen a couple of comments on our comment section where somebody bigging himself up saying that he could own any keyboard and mouse player with his controller. It's just not doable, is it? Like the rotation speed, the accuracy.
This is a reality that the developers have said. This is the first thing the guy says is, it's not going to be fair because mouse and keyboard will have an advantage. We read the guy's quote out to you because we didn't want to appear like it's just us saying that. They see this as a real balancing issue. It's not just like a kind of, is there an advantage? It's a literal, definite advantage. So how do they address it? And that's something that they're working on.
Yeah, and for those of you deniers out there who think that you will be able to keep up with mouse and keyboard players, just watch some YouTube footage of like CSGO or something, and you watch like professional CSGO players and how they do like the flick shots and shit like that. You cannot do that.
It makes me sick.
And it's almost like I don't know. It's
so emasculating watching any kind of good first-person shooter player.
With mouse and keyboard, which is the important thing. And then you watch people play with a controller, and it's just like 5-year-old kids playing, isn't it? Like it is just like 5-year-old. I'm sorry.
From one extreme to the other.
But he is talking about putting an aimbot in there. Is that what he calls it? What?
He's talking about the kids thing.
Yeah.
You're laughing at the kids
It's funny,
thing.
mate, it is funny.
Aim assist, some people might call it.
Yeah.
Aimbot is what I call it. It's like, what is the effing point of having a game that cheats for you? Like, it's literally an aimbot. And if you put it on a PC, it would be an aimbot. You get banned for using that shit on a PC.
It's like that old Call of Duty loop, like you tap L2, you tap R2, and it'll just magnetise their head and you shoot it, and that's kind of how console players play first-person shooter games.
Right, sorry.
That's how it stays competitive and stuff. But when you go to like a long-range thing, you still have to compensate. It's not going to like show you exactly where to position your scope so you get a nice clear shot on the guy. So there will still be a difficult shooting mechanic there for console gamers.
It's going to take a lot of balancing, that's for sure, to get the balance
Absolutely.
right between allowing console players to become competitive in the mouse and keyboard sphere, I guess, and you know, is it even possible for them to get as many kills to play as well?
To win. I mean, the
to
chance
win
of
a
them
round.
winning.
You only have to kill one guy. In fact, you don't have to kill anyone if they all stay out the smoke.
Yeah,
Like stay in the smoke.
that's true. But the odds that you've got to say they're very much against them. However, there is one other element that we haven't talked about, and that's actual player numbers. How many Xbox gamers will there be? And are they going to signify what system you're on in some way? Because you can't even see who killed you, really.
Yeah.
So are they going to add that in? Are you going to see if you've killed a PC gamer or vice versa? Or, you know, how are they going to enable all that kind of stuff?
One other thing for me before we finish off this little console
Light discussion.
Yeah. This game is more tactical than just being able to shoot. So the console players, if they're good at positioning themselves and reacting to this scenario, situation, what's happening around them, they can get an advantage from that. It's not all about just shooting, because
situational awareness is a huge part of it, like checking the map and whether, you know, it's a huge part of the fun as well.
So for anybody who is playing console and who has got that skill set, it will balance the playing field a little bit. I don't know, what do you guys feel about this? I mean, I've got the feeling that you feel the way I do.
Keep it clean, guys, alright? Let's be civil.
Gloves are off, guys. Let's go for it. This is not the first time Microsoft has tried to implement crossplay in the game. Microsoft dev team The Coalition actually tested crossplay on Gears of War 4 earlier this year, and it was later implemented, but only in a limited fashion. You can crossplay with PC and Xbox gamers in the social quick play multiplayer playlist, but if you want to get serious in the core and competitive modes, then crossplay is not an option. It remains segregated to ensure gamers are as closely matched and competitive as possible. So to quickly explain, that means that if you're playing casually, then you can play crossplay.
There's a casual playlist. So it kept that serious playlist segregated because they wanted to, you know, they wanted the odds to be as even and as fair as possible. The 2007 FPS Shadowrun was another game where Microsoft experimented with crossplay, allowing gamers on the 360 to get their asses kicked by that one PC player they would encounter every 20 matches or so. That was implemented using the famously horrifying Games for Windows Live service, which shared accounts between Xbox and PC. PC players had far too much of an advantage over their console counterparts. Microsoft scrapped plans to do crossplay with Unreal Tournament 3 and Gears of War a few years later because, in the words of computer designer Rahul Sood, console players got destroyed every time.
Any closing statements? Anything that we can conclude on? I won't call it console scrubs then.
You want to call them console?
No, I won't, I said I won't call them
well, that's
console.
good of you, Cass.
And talking of Battlegrounds, let's check out what you've been saying in the comments this week. First up, on Sony and Microsoft see things differently, Peter Tremblay comments, "We have less than 10 years before our society collapse, so this question is trivial." A lot of people actually think that there will be a society collapse in 10 years. People actually think, and people are saying on YouTubers are actually saying there will be a gaming collapse in the next few years.
Commenting on last week's Saturday show, Breadcrumb says, "Nice Bob Dylan t-shirt, Gareth. I didn't know they had released Anthem merch already," which is a very funny joke because that is what BioWare called their game Anthem for Bob Dylan of games. I thought it was really funny when I heard it.
On our Steam Summer Sale video, SpongeBob says, "Laughs in Pirate."
Because it's like our top recommendations for
Steam.
I'm going to explain another joke.
Yeah. And he is laughing because he is a pirate.
Yeah.
And he's laughing at the idea of us spending money.
However, what's funny is he doesn't go, haha, lol, just pirate. He's just laughing at us in a pirate accent because
he is a pirate.
There's a lot of depth there.
Yeah,
very well executed.
There's a lot of depth considering it's 3 words long.
Yeah,
that is a masterclass in humour.
On our Star Citizen video, Monkey342 says, "So we're getting our gaming news from kids now. Kiddo on the left looks about 16. Come back when you're old enough to shave."
Well, that's very funny. I had a beard. It wasn't a very good beard, but it was what it was. And now it's gone. I've explained this in a thorough statement that I pinned to the copy. You couldn't miss it. I pinned it.
Mike, I sympathise with you, dude. I happen to think you look like more like an older man than a young kid. You know, like an old man with like, take it like a man, Mike.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
You don't look like one.
I thought we were friends, man.
So literally all the other comments are, Jesus is like looking at a man-child, R.I.P. beard, where did his beard go? And the list goes on, like. So I guess that's it for comments this week.
I knew this would happen. As soon as it happened, as soon as it was gone, I was like, that's it. I'm getting destroyed.
The moment the realization came on your face as you shaved off,
it wasn't even shit, I've shaved off part of my mustache. It was shit, I'm gonna get destroyed as soon as I film the video. So I was expecting it. I was expecting all these jokes like Mike looks 16, Mike looks 12, Mike looks like a girl. Who is this kid on the left? All those I kind of envisioned.
One might say, Mike, that having made such a schoolboy error in the first place, you deserve a lot of it. Do you want to do the outro?
Nah.
So that's your lot for today's Saturday show. Let us know down in the comments what you think of Mike's face now. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. Check out some more of our content around about here on the screen. You can check us out on Patreon if you're willing to support us. And we will see you again in the next video. Until then, bye for now.